Hello, welcome. Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome. Hi, welcome. Hi, welcome. I'm happy to answer any general questions you might have about crystals or tarot reading. If you would like to have a reading today, details are in the link in my bio. What you're looking for is a live tarot reading on TikTok. Hate to say I told you so. I told you so. Hi, welcome. Come this way. Probably start. Actually, before I start, I'm just gonna do a quick body pendulum because I have a question and I want to see what the answer is. I could ask the pendulum, but I'm gonna do body pendulum because I feel a little bit more confident with that. Ask the question. Hello, welcome. Not the best idea. Hi, welcome. All right, so while we are waiting for the line to come in, I'll just introduce myself here for anyone who hasn't seen me before. My name is Letitia. I go by Sky Blue MUA and Tarot here on TikTok and a number of other platforms. I'll get into that in a minute. I am from the Greater Toronto area of Canada, Ontario, Canada. And I have been professionally doing tarot reads for about 10 years now, maybe even longer. I've been doing them longer than that, but I've been doing them professionally for about 10 years. I'm a self-taught makeup artist, and I have positioned myself to be a support for anyone who is in makeup or in metaphysical, who's looking for support, guidance, assistance, a bestie, a big sister, a coach, whatever you want to call it. If you're needing help, as a beginner in the makeup industry, you would like tips, tricks, coaching for that side of things, I'm happy to help there. But primarily, I do come here live. I do these lives Monday to Friday. So basically weekdays on this lunchtime between 12:15 and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard. And this is where I make myself available to provide some insight with tarot reading. So in addition to that, I've got a small library of tools and resources available for baby readers who are starting out on their journey of discovery. Again, lots of support there. I am working on having some more support for people, baby makeup artists. But because the content is delivered in a little bit of a different way, like for makeup, it's very demonstrative. Like I got to show you how to apply, what the technique is. Whereas for the metaphysical, or at least for reading tarot, or doing tarot reads, I should say, let me correct myself, for doing tarot reads, that I can explain this. Like I can write text and you can read it and then you can have an understanding, because demonstrating isn't really necessarily going to show you what you need to know. So as I was mentioning, I do have a few different social media platforms available. My primary is definitely TikTok. This is where you will find the majority of my posts and etc. So it's a variety of content on TikTok. I post on both sides of my niche, if you want to call it. I post on the makeup side. I will post tips. I will post hauls, cosmetics, shopping, skincare, lifestyle, different things like that on the makeup side. And then on the metaphysical side, tips, resources, tools, things to assist baby readers. So that is my platform in a nutshell. But as I said, the majority of things I post are primarily on TikTok. I do a lot of reposting on Instagram. Instagram usually has my TikTok repost, but I would say the unique posts that I do on Instagram are anything else. So typically when I go live, I do a look of the day. This is my look for today. So I'll take a picture of this and this will be posted on Instagram. So that will be something that I will post on Instagram that you will not see on TikTok. And then naturally I have threads. I really don't even know why I have that, to be if I was being really honest, okay? But many people have it. There's a lot going on there. I do try to support other creators on threads, but mostly what I'm posting on threads is what I'm posting on Instagram. I just recently opened the YouTube account. Very excited about this. So there are a few TikToks that I will repost as shorts on YouTube. However, YouTube is the place for more long form content. So this live and all the lives that I have, at least I started for this week. So this is a new thing, but all of my lives moving forward will be reposted on YouTube. So if you wanted to watch the live, you can certainly do that there. One of the things I will say about my live chats here on TikTok is that when I am not actively doing a reading, I am providing details, tips, advice, information, education as it pertains to the metaphysical world. So it's definitely worth a watch if you're watching this on YouTube. And then over here, this little square that's our rectangle that's seemingly blocked off, I will be introducing another platform very, very soon. I'm hoping to launch this by Monday, fingers crossed. fingers and toes crossed that I will be able to launch this on Monday. This is a completely separate platform, completely different kind of material. There will be no reposts of TikToks or Instagrams or anything like that. Completely separate arena here. So that will be released soon, and I cannot wait to share that with you. Hello, welcome. All right, so let us talk a little bit. So let's talk a little bit of the talk a little bit about some of the tools and resources that I have available for baby readers, beginners in the tarot reading world. It is a really crazy time. I completely can empathize and connect with this because when I was a baby reader, when I was in the beginning stages, I knew I had a gift. I felt very strongly about what I was feeling and seeing and interpreting, but without anybody to back me up, without having a place to go, somebody to look to, I felt very, very uncertain. So this is why I say that I've been doing readings for well over 20 years, but I've only been professionally doing readings for just over 10 years. The reason being is that literally it took me a decade to come to terms with what I was seeing, feeling, experiencing, interpreting, because I felt I was in doubt of myself, what I was doing, what I was seeing. And then I had people give me bad advice. I had a few people, I had one friend of mine, looked at the deck that I had at the time, which I ended up getting rid of because of his stupid advice. But I had him, because for whatever reason, my cousin thought that he was more in tune. I realize now that he was full of shit, but she was like, oh, you should have him look at the deck. He looked at the deck and was like, oh, all of the bad cards are at the bottom. And I'm like, okay, that makes no sense. Like, even when he said it to me at the time, I felt like it made no sense. But because I thought that he knew more than me, I listened to that horrible advice. And I later on ended up getting rid of the deck. Now I regret it because that was technically actually my very first deck. And there was nothing wrong with it. And there technically are no bad cards. There really are no bad cards. There may be cards that have imagery that could be interpreted as bad, but if you know anything about the tarot, you must know that when certain cards come up, they are there for a particular reason, and they are there to provide a message. I will give a prime example, because people say this all the time, and this is one of the cards where he was like, oh, the bad card is at the bottom. There we go. So this is a popular card that is misinterpreted. Death. 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 Everybody freaks out when they see this card. They're like, what? The death card? That means you're gonna die. No, it does not mean that. Okay? It does not mean that. Get this out of your head. It does not mean that. There are no bad cards in the tarot, okay? And if you're interpreting things that way, then blah. But this card comes up, it typically means that things need to change, or things are going to change, or it means the death of a thing to allow for the rebirth of another thing, right? So the death or the end of something, all right? As opposed to This card means you're gonna die. That's so when he said that to me, it really made me think, like, what are you talking about? Bad cards. The bad cards are at the bottom. And then what is considered the bottom? Really? Right? Like, here's my deck, right? This is the face and this is the back. So that is a very clear thing, right? Looking at the deck, I got face and then I've got back. Now, if I have the deck stacked this way, then these cards here might be considered the cards at the bottom. But what if the deck is stacked this way? Now, these cards would be considered the cards at the bottom. So, like, let's talk about the sentence again. I was showing him the cards. We're going through them like this. And I guess we got to, like, this point. Oh, husband alert. We got to this point, down at the end here. And he goes, all the bad cards are at the bottom. Okay. This way, they're at the bottom. Okay, so what if I flip them over? So are they now at the top? And does that make them less bad? So, things like this that make you sort of question yourself and question things in general, I say go with your gut. Okay, because in that situation, had I gone with my gut and basically disregarded what he said, I would still have that deck here today. But because I listened to him and he told me it was a bad deck, the bad cards are at the bottom, because I purchased the deck on my own, it wasn't given to me as a gift. Because it wasn't given to me as a gift, then it's a bad deck to have. So all of these stupid, ridiculous misconceptions that I know you have heard. I know you've heard this before. Oh, I love that. Butterflies. He knows I love butterflies. Thank you, honey. So yeah, I knew in my gut that, what he was saying did not really seem to make sense. I know some of you have heard this before, that, you're not allowed to buy your own deck and it has to be a gift. It needs to be given to you. And, be careful of the bad cards in your deck. These are ridiculous myths and misconceptions. Okay, absolutely ridiculous myths and misconceptions, because I want you to follow through on the logic. Now, some people might argue that, the deck needs to be something that is given to you. What is that? Sorry, I just got... Okay, I need to delete that. I don't know what that is. What was that? Something come through. Anyway. Oh, the thing. I have to get rid of that. So like I said, you might have gotten these things where people say, it has to be given to you. Now, some might argue that spirit could work through that person so that they select a deck that's appropriate for you and, give that to you as a gift. I don't disagree with that at all. I truly believe that if someone was planning on gifting you a deck, spirit will have some influence to ensure that the deck that they're going to be buying for you is going to be something that you're going to connect with. I don't disagree with that. But here's the thing, because there's always a thing. What if I want a deck today? I woke up this morning and I decided, you know what? I want a deck today because I want to continue on. I want to broaden my journey. I want to explore this possibility. Unless I say to a friend, it's not my birthday, it's not Christmas. So how would my friend know that that's what I want? So there's that. And then, it has to be a gift and da da da. Again, how does that help me when I go shopping? I'm on my favorite store on their website or whatever, and I look and I see they have, oh my God, they have a deck based on the color blue because it's my favorite color. Okay. They have a deck based on blue hearts. And I look and I see that and I'm like, I want that deck today. Should I not buy it because I have to wait for somebody to realize that that's what I want and gift it to me? Give me a break. Okay. No. All right. I'm not even trying to hear that kind of bullshit. So you want a deck, buy a deck. If somebody gives you a deck, sure, great. Absolutely. Add it to the list. But if you want a deck, get a friggin' deck. Debunking tarot myths like bad cards at the bottom. Ask about your deck. Yes, I do agree. Ask about your deck. But again, if it doesn't feel right, and to me, that didn't feel right. It didn't feel right that he said to me, there's bad cards and the bad cards at the bottom. And this deck is probably not for you because you bought it for yourself and it wasn't given to you as a gift. Ugh. Okay. I say fuck off with that bullshit. Buy as many decks as you want. Do what feels comfortable. I was, again, more myths. I was previously advised that there is only one way to pull cards when you shuffle and everything. First, again, I was told there's only one way to shuffle. There's that. And then there's only one way to pull your cards. You have to pull from the top and you have to go this way. Right? You go this way. And I'll show you with the actual cards because I have that. So you're supposed to take from the top and go like that. Right? Like this. Because they're like, oh, if you do it, which is the way I feel comfortable, you do it where you go like this, which is in essence making the card hit upside down, then all your cards are going to be upside down. And, then the reading isn't going to be Okay. I shuffled the deck. So naturally, some cards will eventually end up upside down. That's just going to happen on a natural shuffle. That's point number one. Point number two. This is why the back of the deck looks the way it does. The whole point is it looks the same way right side up as it does upside down. Why? Because you're not supposed to know whether or not it's upside down or right side up until you flip it over. But point number three, and this is the part that's the most important, because that is the way that feels natural to me. When I shuffle the deck, the universe, source, spirit, whatever it is you want to call it, is involved in that process. And they are fully aware of the fact that I pull my cards like a so. So they ensure that when the deck is being shuffled, that things come up the way that they do, so that when I pull, because it's me that's doing the pulling, so that when I pull, it comes out like that, right? I haven't had a situation where I felt that a deck was, or a card was not supposed to be in the reverse, and it came up that way. Like, I've never had a situation. I just read the reverse for what it is. In some cases, it doesn't matter whether or not it came up in the reverse because I'm doing an intuitive read. So there's that. So in some cases, it doesn't matter that it came up in the reverse. It's just about seeing it come up. But in other cases, I have had where it comes up in the reverse, and then that tells me a different layer of whatever the meaning of the card is. That's the joy of intuitive reading, that it's kind of come as you are, right? Like whatever works for you, whatever feels natural. So yeah, there we have it. I say shuffle however feels comfortable for you. and pull cards however feels comfortable for you. I have seen people do a shuffle where they literally just spread out all the cards on a table and like literally mix them up like this. They're just like mixy, 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 mix. And then they just randomly pull wherever they pull. They don't even like bring it all together and like have it stacked up and do that. Nope, they just randomly pull. That is the way they channel. Everybody's going to channel differently. And this is another reason why you need to be open to learning, open to workshops, open to connecting with other readers, other clairvoyants, other people that are in the arena, because you will always learn something new. You need to be open to learning. Alrighty. All right, so that is about everything for me. I'm going to ask this question again. She likes to spin. I wanna sing goodnight. All right, she says no. She says no. She wanted to say yes, though. She was like, I want to say yes, but I gotta say no. Because she started off with a little bit of a yes action, and she's like, I'm gonna say no. I think she like maybe it started off as a yes, but she shut that down. She's like, nope, sorry. Gotta be honest, it's a no. And I kind of knew it was probably going to be a no. At least at this point, I know it's going to be a no. Anyways, that is it for me today. This has been a wonderful week. I will be back on Monday, and I may actually stay a little bit longer on Monday because it is a holiday where I'm from. So I won't be at my regular 9 to 5 on that day. So I will have a little extra time. I may either stay longer or I may go live twice for 2 different things. So we might do some tarot reading in the earlier part of the day. Maybe we might do some makeup in the later part of the day. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Or I might just stay on for a longer session of doing readings. We'll see how the vibe hits on Monday, because people might be feeling frisky, feeling froggy. Anyways, before I go, I just want to talk a little bit about some of the tools and resources I have available for beginner or baby readers. Ultimately, it's super duper important if you're getting into tarot reading that you have an understanding of the foundation. The foundation is the Rider-Waite. That is the source. That is the beginning. Much like any other field that you're getting into, it's important that you understand the history. It's important that you know where things come from, and then you can move on into doing your own thing if you would like to. It's completely up to you. Regardless, I do have a guide available called the Rider-Waite Tarot for Beginners. Read the cards with confidence. This is a digital download. The details are in the link in my bio. In this guide, I introduce for you the Rider-Waite keyword method. The Rider-Waite keyword method is a simplification of the understanding of the Rider-Waite, making it easier for you to see those repeating cards, themes, and messages so that you're not having to memorize 78 different cards. The starter guide introduces the concept, and then I do have the complete guide, which elaborates on this much more. In the complete guide, I do do go into the decans. I just will touch a little bit on the zodiac characteristics. And ultimately, I show you how it all comes together. These are both digital downloads available in the link in my bio. Additionally, as you begin doing readings, you will feel, as I mentioned, some things feel right, but some things you're not too sure about and you don't know who to ask. So for that, I've created Quick Start Tarot 10 etiquette tips for the beginner reader. Zile, thank you so much for the likes. Where's my heart? There we go. Thank you. My favorite color is blue. That is why you will see I will put blue hearts on everything. Thank you so much. So I've got Quick Start Tarot 10 etiquette tips for the beginner reader. This is just a collection of tips, things that are to your benefit to know before, during, and after your readings. This is actually quite the bargain because I do include 5 bonus tips. So it's actually a total of 15 tips. You can download that from the link in my bio. Additionally, as I mentioned, get decks. Get as many decks as you want. Don't feel that you need to wait for somebody to gift you a deck because that's not how it works. It's about what you connect with, right? You got to see it, you got to touch it, you got to do whatever, but you can buy it for yourself. You could buy one, you could buy a million. It doesn't really matter. There's some people that they collect decks. It is something that can get kind of crazy. It's super important though that you do develop a relationship with your tarot oracle deck. So for that, I will stand 10 toes down when I say journaling is the #1 way that you can do that. Now you can journal any way that you would like. However, if you are looking for a guided journal to help you with that process, I do offer a journal called the Daily Deck Dialogue. In this journal, you will do daily reads, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. You're capturing lots of details with this, how you're feeling, the deck that you're using. There's a little note section here. Sometimes I put dreams that I might have had that are remarkable, or any other things that sort of sprung to my mind that are kind of, rolling around in there. Then you ask a reflection question. You drop anywhere from 3 to 5 cards, and then you make notes on those cards. And then at the end of the day, you've got some journal prompts. I find that sometimes I don't need to answer all of these questions every single time I do this. Sometimes I answer 1, sometimes I answer 2 or 3, sometimes I answer all 5 of them. But it all depends on how you're feeling. And then of course there's some space there to do some reflection. And then lastly, there is the check-in page. You can check in at 7, 30, 90, or 180 days if you want to go for that long. You don't have to, but if you want to go for that long, it's available there. And then you can see what kind of repeating cards, themes, and messages come up for you. But ultimately, connecting with your deck is a super duper important first step. And then lastly, I've got a beginner's guide to crystals. This is a comprehensive guide that goes over crystal care and maintenance, color meanings, shape meanings, how to use crystals in your everyday, the top 10 most popular crystals and how to use them, and fun crystal facts as well. There's also a crystal activation ritual. This is a very simple, easily adopted ritual. Ultimately, y'all are buying your crystals, but you're not activating them, and then you have questions about why they're not doing what you want them to do. You gotta activate the crystal and tell it what you need from it. So that's really important. But like I said, I do I do talk about how to use crystals in your tarot practice, because I use a lot of crystals in my tarot practice, and I love pairing my decks with different kinds of crystals for different reasons, because that's what they need. So that is what I've got in my shop. All the details are in the link in my bio. These are all digital downloads. Just FYI, these are all digital downloads. Like I said, details are in the link in my bio. I am logging off for today. This has been a really fun day. I love a Friday. I love a Friday. Anyways, I am heading out. This has been great. My DMs are open if you ever have any questions. And if you would like to have a personalized written reading. You can find those details in the link in my bio on how you can submit a request for a personalized written reading. This is personalized to you and you alone, and it is written and emailed to your inbox directly from me. No AI involved. No AI involved. Do I look like AI? Anyways, all the best. Have an amazing weekend, everyone. Take care. All the best. And peace, love, and titties. Until next time. All right. Bye.